Okay, let's build the optimal risky portfolio for these 5 assets. Consider those to be, or assume those are the only 5 assets that exist. So I'll call this my returns. Right here, emergent center. Let me get rid of that. So for Apple, I just want to do equal the average of this, period, control down. That's the average monthly return. I want to be annualized, so multiply by 12. Copy that over, put it in percent. Maybe do a quick check. Yeah, Walmart's going to Walmart, it's still multiplying by 12. Now I need the covariance matrix. So data analysis, click covariance. And we want to highlight all of this, all those returns. We have labels in the first row. The output range can be right here. That would be great. Click OK. Now I need to fill in the top half of this matrix. So copy, paste, take this, copy, and we're going to go paste special right there. Show what's going to happen. If I click transpose, it'll take this and flip it. If I do skip blanks, it will ignore the blanks. So flip this and put it right into there. If I do the values, it's not going to copy this underlined portion. So everything looks good at that point. I can clear this off. And see, here's that underline. So I can get rid of that. Need to annualize, so I need to multiply by 12. So take a 12, copy it into here, paste special, multiply, and it multiplies every number in there by 12. Format it, and there we go. Now we need to find the weights. So here are my stocks. I want to find the optimal weights. Don't want that. Maybe I want this to be centered. So what I do is I highlight all of this at the same time. I'm going to do this step by step here. So equal matrix multiplication of the inverse of the covariance matrix multiplied with the returns. For the returns, I need to have those transposed because this is a 5 by 5 matrix. This is a 1 by 5. That won't work. I need to transpose it to make it 5 by 1. And there we go. And now if I sum this up, it doesn't sum to 1. Those need one more step here. We need to normalize this, and it really doesn't matter that much that you exactly understand the math, but just know we need to do the sum of this, paste it right there. Need one more parenthesis, control shift enter. Remember, control shift enter. There's your percent. Put that in percent. And these are what the weights should look like. Now, one other thing here. What if I decided that this was not 47%? This is what history tells me. But now I look at Apple. Seeing that Apple is not 47%, it's really 20%. Watch how everything changes. Another thing to look at. This is telling you to be short Coke, minus 8% Coke. Does that really make sense? Because you know Coke is a good company. No, it doesn't. So if you change this to 10%, you're still short Coke, but change that to 8. We flip these numbers around, everything's going to change. It's very sensitive to these inputs. So it's very important that we get these inputs correct. So that's our next step. Our next step is we want to have these returns based on the CAPM. So I know, we do it like this. I'll take these returns, just put these, I'll put them right here. So this is the stock, this is the alpha, this is the beta, and the market risk premium. So we're going to have someone at our firm that determines our market risk premium is 5%. I'll just put that number in. So it's 5% for everybody. Put that in percentage. We're going to have an analyst, and these are all going to be in percents as well. We're going to have an analyst that comes in and says, you know what, I think Apple's going to overperform by 1%, Echo by 2, Coke by 1, Walmart by -1, and ExxonMobil by 1.5. We'll make this 0.5 just to have something different. So now we have the betas we have to estimate, and here's how we estimate the betas. Well, before that, let's just put in some bogus numbers right now. This return for Apple is going to be equal to alpha plus beta times market risk premium. Same thing for AGCO. It's going to equal the alpha plus beta times market risk premium. I didn't do this in the most efficient way possible. So since we're just 5 of them, I'll do it a long way. And this is the CAPM that you were taught in 3300 and in 4000, right? But the difference here is we have to come up with the alpha, the beta, and the market risk premium. So that's what we're thinking, assuming those betas are as given. Look how that changes our weights. Now we're all ExxonMobil. But now we need to come up with what the betas are. So I can do something like the following for the betas. Do the dates as well. So I want to go 60 data points into this. So that goes down to right. Hang on a second, let me make sure I got the right spot. Start in row 2. So I need to go to 61. So equal the slope for Apple, my Y's, comma for the market, now the one thing here is the market is not going to change. The rows will, but the columns won't. So lock down the G portion by pressing F4, and that's the beta for Apple. Copy this over, double click, and there's all my betas. That's the beta as of December 2005. Double click it down, and there are all my betas like that. So which one should I choose? Should I choose this last one? And here's the Bloomberg adjusted. Would be equal to 1 divided by 3 plus 2 times that one divided by 3. So I can use the actual beta or the Bloomberg adjusted beta. I'm going to use the adjusted beta each time. So equal, page down. Really what I can do, equal this one, equal that. And here are my betas. Let me put in all zeros for the alphas. Now that I do that, it's telling me to short Apple, short Coke, and put a lot in ExxonMobil. So this still doesn't work really well. What if I think Apple will outperform? You see here kind of the flaw in how this works is using historical data doesn't necessarily give us the best, doesn't give us the weights that really make a lot of sense, but that is mathematically how it should be done. So we'll talk more about the flaws of that later on. The next thing to do, and I won't do all of these because this is relatively simple, I'll just do the Apple and I'll do Coke, is graph this. So insert a line graph, looks like this. And you got to ask yourself, should I use that Bloomberg adjustment or not? Well, look at that's not really tending toward 1 in my opinion, so maybe I shouldn't use the Bloomberg adjustment for Apple. And then we can make an argument about, well, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. But so now let's change it and say we'll use that one for Apple. See how things change. Now let's look at Coke. Here's the Coke beta. Do another line graph. That really doesn't look like it's tending to 1 to me. It looks like it's tending more to 0.5. Let's look at AGCO. So the point of this is I want you to be able to graph these and recognize that beta changes over time. For the last thing, now that we have these betas, I want to find the new covariances. So it's going to be the covariance of AGCO and Apple. I need to find the variance of the market. So variance of the market is equal to variance of the market. There it is. But once again, I need to annualize that. So by 12, so that is my variance of the market. So now I can say the covariance of Apple and AGCO is equal to the beta for each one times the variance of the market. This is a little more difficult, slow process, but beta of Apple and Coke times the variance of the market. See how that's changing my weights. Walmart, Apple times Walmart times the variance of the market. So now we have Apple and Exxon times the variance of the market. So there's AGCO, and Coke times the variance of the market. AGCO and Walmart. Tons of variance of the market. AGCO and Walmart, AGCO and Walmart. And then AGCO and ExxonMobil. Getting close now. Coke and Walmart. So Coke and Walmart. Coke and ExxonMobil. And the last one, Walmart and ExxonMobil. So that's our new covariance matrix and our new returns. I'll zero those alphas out. And mathematically, that's how it should work. Look at the results. It doesn't make a lot of sense just looking at it. We're all in ExxonMobil. But here's a problem. That's just 5 stocks, and we're using, well, that's the problem. We're just using 5 stocks and comparing to the 5,000 in the market. So it's not reasonable. You wouldn't actually implement this. This is just going through the math that we need to go through. So that's just something to get you started. So hopefully that makes some degree of sense, and we'll go to the next step later on.